Hey people, Gen Xer here. Got a article from The Intercept, as usual, very good source. It's from Sharon Lerner, one of the journalists there. Let me get a hand on this thing a little more comfortable. God, I need a tripod so badly. It's about Scott Pruitt. It says, what finally pushed Scott Pruitt over the edge? Was it the was it the woman with the baby who let him have it in a fast food restaurant, or his use of Environmental Protection Agency staff to try and snag his wife a Chick-fil-A franchise, the secret calendar, the tactical pants, whatever the hell tactical pants are. The EPA administrator generated headlines with his stream of bizarre, inappropriate, and self-serving interests in his 16 months in office. At last count, there were more than a dozen investigations into ethical lapses. Pruitt has served as Oklahoma's Attorney General before being confirmed to lead the EPA last February. Has had a taste for the finer things, nice cars with flashing lights and sirens, biometric locks, extremely secure phone booths, and big houses. The combination of his the expensive taste to the big house in Tulsa came with a big mortgage, and his public servant's salary was part of the reason the leader of a federal agency got mucked up in the low rent condos I was about to mention. He had these like really super low rent condos that he was getting for like dirt cheap, but they already explained it. And searching for a job that would pay his wife at least $200,000. President Donald Trump, who tweeted about Pruitt's resignation Thursday afternoon, averted his gaze from the slime pit his appointee had created and stuck to the line he has towed since Pruitt began generating scandals last year. Within the agency, Scott has done an outstanding job, and I will always be thankful for him for this. That's Trump saying that, but which is anything he says, you might as well just believe the opposite. But in other words, Pruitt was doing exactly what the president wanted, which is corruption. That's been the trouble with this pairing on the Oklahoman, whose rise through politics was powered by the Senate's oil and gas industry, of course, with the famously immoral president. Both deny climate change and seem to view the EPA as an arm of the industry instead of regulating them. But for both, that outlook is transactional, I guess. Transactional? That's a word. Pruitt appears to be passionate about baseball and religion. Doesn't seem to particularly be interested in the environment, or even arguably in more like destroying it. He just wanted to what he could get in return in Oklahoma, where he sided with the poultry companies in Arkansas to subvert environmental protections from a river in his own state and suppress the report on corruption at the Superfund site. It almost sounds like Cuomo. Some guy had his own watchdog agency, his own agency that was supposed to oversee corruption in the state of New York, and as soon as they started to investigate him, he basically dismantled and destroyed the whole program. So, not to mention his citing what he actually wanted the Democrat was supposed to be actually was interested in privatizing schools and prisons. So, about the worst as they worst comes, but don't want to get too sidetracked from the article at hand. It's actually about Pruitt. So what he wanted was the political support of a wealthy industry in Washington, where he had recently expressed interest in Attorney General Jeff Sessions' job. He wanted the approval of the president. Pruitt's resignation letter even seemed to be aimed for the president's good side. Truly, your confidence in me has blessed me personally. Oh, blah, blah, blah. He wrote, adding that he believed God brought him into service. More bullshit, but please. um, for his part, Trump didn't care about Pruitt's scandals as long as he was doing the bidding in the industry, of course. Um, which is why it took so long for his tenure to end when it did end. Um, Democrats and environmentalists rejoiced as if the house had fallen and the wicked witch had fallen. Finally, the headline quote of a press release from Representative John Bayer of Virginia, who was just hours before had called for a criminal investigation into Pruitt's secret calendar, which, you know, I don't know, may or may not even been important, but a Washington, D.C. restaurant whipped up a special cocktail for the occasion. Even Republicans joined in the post-Pruitt celebration, like they really care. But the party will be brief. The president has another loyal industry servant primed for service, former coal lobbyist. I was about to mention he's a lobbyist that they're going to replace him with. Going to replace him with a coal lobbyist and current EPA duty administrator, Andrew Wheeler, which will take over the agency's acting director on Monday. His views on climate change, the rollback of the Clean Power Plan, and the ongoing evisceration of other environmental protections are virtually indistinguishable from Pruitt's. In several ways, Wheeler is more daunting an adversary. He has more experience working to undermine environmental regulations and deeper ties to industry than his predecessor. Before becoming a principal at the firm Fager, I believe, Fager Bakel Daniels. It's almost like a tongue twister. Wheeler was chief counsel for the Republicans on the Senate's Environment and Public Works Committee. Before that, he worked for the grandfather of climate change denier Jim Einhoff from Oklahoma, and before that, he served in the presidents George W. Bush and Bill Clinton era. Wheeler is close to the decision makers in Congress that he actually raised money for two of the senators who went on to confirm his appointment at The Intercept reported on February. He made campaign contributions and hosted fundraisers in May 2017 for two Republican senators, Einhoff and John Barrasso from Wyoming, both of whom are members of the Committee on Environment and Public Works, which is just like a figurehead name. It's like these people are like, they don't regulate anything, but it's in name only. But I'll continue. While Pruitt was a Washington novice, Wheeler is a consummate inside the Beltway lobbyist system who has served many companies that are subject and somewhat resistant to EPA regulations. So, among his former clients are Murray Energy, which teamed up with Pruitt to sue the EPA, which is part of the NAFTA thing, basically, with these companies that can sue the EPA, like that one energy company from Canada that was doing it because one of the pipelines that are being denied being built, so under Obama. But obviously, Trump pushed all that stuff through like right away because his buddy Rick Perry is on the Energy Transfer Partners board of directors, so that's why he pretty much pushed those through immediately. Nose itches. Energy Fuels Resources Incorporated is another company, lobbied for a uranium mining company also that recently petitioned the Trump administration to decrease the size of the Bears Ears National Monument. They don't even care. They just kill off public parks and monuments, and they don't even, it's all for profit. Just to make them another dollar, already rich as hell as it is, but it's just disgusting, man. And a liquid natural gas company called Bearhead LNG Group, Wheeler Also represented Underwriters Laboratories, which does testing and certification for the EPA, among other organizations. Excel Energy is another one, and Insurance Auto Auctions, a salvage car company, according to his financial disclosure. That's probably one of the least, incriminating people that or groups that he lobbied for. But anyway, it's a disgusting article. Makes you think there's hope, and then there's really just the same thing. For Wheeler, the deep ties come with big money, while Pruitt appeared to be strapped. Wheeler's last job paid a salary of $741,000. Damn. But he's pretending to be broke. It's fun and it's hilarious. Which is augmented by payments from his individual clients. So it's unlikely that the new EPA administrator will be casting about for earning opportunities for his family members like Pruitt did. But instead, Pruitt's windy, scandal-ridden journey finally comes to an end, and Wheeler and his adversaries will likely return their focus to the environment. Remains to be seen. You really think somebody as a lobbyist is going to actually side with the little guy, or actually work to not exploit people and the environment itself? But really, but yeah, there you go. It's an article from Intercept. It's really good. So I hope I didn't mention early in the article. I don't know if you remember, any of you guys heard a song from The Who, Don't Get Fooled Again. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. They even mentioned Bill Clinton in there as one in the mix with that worked with this guy, so as well as George Bush. So same group of people, all part of the 1% club, and you're not invited, as they say. But there you go. If you like it, thumb it up. Subscribe if you can, and I really appreciate it. I haven't made a video in a little while, so it's thinking maybe considering a Patreon account, but I have such low subscriber base right now because I'm just starting out that and I'm only doing this in my spare time, that it probably wouldn't even really help me much. And I really would like to make it on sheer views and work ethic of doing this, but instead of hitting people up for money. But yeah, there you go, man. Just vote on platform. Don't let them manipulate you into voting for somebody that's going to give you half measures and platitudes. It's got to be the real deal, man. Vote for the real populist left candidate. That's all I'm saying. But appreciate your support, and like I said, thumb up and subscribe if you can. Maybe if you have any friends or family that you think this might interest them, this type of talk, maybe share me with one of my videos with them. It's kind of gone worse. I know I'm not the most effective communicator that there is, because I have such a monotone voice. But I mean, my last article was pretty good. I mean, it was about Alexandria Cortez. She actually won the primary, but it was when Move On, I guess, was endorsing her as the largest progressive group, along with Democratic Socialists of America, but endorsed her. And it's actually a pretty good article, man. She ended up winning. She did a terrific campaign, actually, and I ended up only with 10 or 15 views, if that. I'm like, dude, come on, man. I mean, I know him, like I said, I talk like Bob Newhart or something, like a flat, monotone voice. And I don't have the raw energy that some of these people have, but for the most part, I mean, I cover some. I'm always going to be honest with you, and put my take on this with the best of my knowledge. And I won't bullshit people. So, like it, and thanks for your support, man. Populist left, and no more bullshit neoliberalism, no neocons, neoliberal bubble fucking nonsense, And love you guys. Take care. Keep your head up. Keep fighting. Thanks.